This is If Coach, your mentor, and I hope and I trust that you are having a wonderful day. Actually, the purpose of this video was basically mainly actually based off of the previous video. The previous video actually gained a lot of traction. We took it to YouTube and told everybody that if they can actually manage to get 10,000 views in under, I don't know, the space, the time frame of which was given for them to get the 10,000 views, but it was actually reached. So that was the purpose of this video. But I actually also wanted to take this opportunity to talk to you guys. You see, I wanted to actually talk to you guys, but before I actually get into that, I'd like you guys to also kindly turn on your post notification button. Please turn it on so that you are notified the next time a video is uploaded. Yes, so I actually wanted to cover with you five topics, only five topics of which I believe will help you become a consistently profitable trader. Because later in this video I'll be taking you guys through the steps of how I managed to actually grow an account trading Nasdaq, only one trade, trading Nasdaq, and I used patience and I used practice, and some of the factors of which I will be covering in the next part of the video. So I actually have I have it outlined here on my phone. One of the things that I actually want to cover with you guys is how to draw trends. You understand? How to properly draw trends, because a lot of people assume that it is easy to draw trends, or rather a lot of people assume that they can draw trends based off of their level of support, or based off their level of resistance, or their turning points, or whichever the case may be. But remember that the market doesn't know our trend lines. The market doesn't know our drawings on the market and all of that stuff. So if you can actually properly know how to draw them to the T, at least close to how the market is actually playing out, I believe you can actually become consistently profitable, and of course using your patience and practice and time. Understand? So let me just take you through the second factor that I wanted to talk to you guys about. The second one is how to use small time frames to determine entries. Remember that our traditional way of trading, or rather our traditional way of analyzing the market, is based off of our top-down analysis. But now we have just developed, or rather came up with new ways to trade, or rather new ways to approach the market, and some of the ways of which are time efficient, right? So you don't need to sit behind your chart the whole day analyzing the market just for one entry of which you're gonna take, and then that's your entry for the day. No, it doesn't work like that. So now we'll be showing you how to use lower time frames to determine your entries in the market. So another point of which we're going to be covering, the third point of which we'll be covering, is demonstration of how to grow a small account. So that is the part of which I said we're going to be covering later in the video. That is the last part of the video. So I would like to also have you guys tuned in until the last part of the video on the demonstration of how to grow a small account. So another one, the second last aspect of which we will be covering is, let me just turn here, guys. Okay, the second last aspect of which we will be covering is the importance of patience, right? The importance of patience is really a prevailing factor in a lot of downfalls, or rather not downfalls, I don't want to say downfall, but a lot of times of which you trade, or rather a lot of times of which traders tend to fail, or rather take time to succeed, or rather become consistently profitable, is their lack of patience. You understand? So for some person, look, it may take 6 months to become profitable. For another person, it may take a year or 2 years, but eventually you will become profitable. You understand? So if you can actually become patient enough to hold, or rather to stand the test of time, I believe you can you can become profitable. So the last and most final aspect is the importance of practice. The importance of practice. I cannot stress this enough, or rather I cannot put this out there enough, but you have to actually put in your 10,000 hours behind the market in order to be successful in forex trading. You understand? You have to put in your time. You have to actually master your craft. For you to actually master your craft, doesn't just become an overnight thing, or doesn't just become it's not a once in a lifetime thing. What do they call it? Beginner's luck. It's not beginner's luck. Remember, for you to actually master your craft, you actually have to sit behind the charts and actually practice and practice and practice. Understand? So those are the 5 topics of which we will be covering in the next part of the video. I hope that you will take notes. I hope that you will sit back and you will relax. Please do not skip any part of this video, as each and every single part of this video, I believe it is beneficial. If you are a beginner trader, or if you're an intermediate trader, or if you are an advanced or professional trader, I believe that, listen, you can there's a thing or two of which you can pick up from what we'll be covering in the next part of the video. So yeah, let's stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next part of the video. Let's get it. Okay guys, now that you have gotten to this part of the video, this is the analyzing part of the video. I actually want to take you guys through some of these steps that we discussed in the first part of the video, some of which I'll be showing you shortly, right? Yes, so the first one was to properly draw trends, right? And then remember guys, being able to identify a trend is one of the core skills a forex trader must possess, and they prove to be highly useful in making forex predictions. Being able to draw trends will make you a better trader and understand how the market conditions are in the current moment, and they will also help you to make informed decisions. Remember guys, that you have to know that trends may vary in length, and from short to intermediate to short-term to long-term trends, and being able to identify a trend is one of the highly profitable skills to acquire. So let me just show you the different types of trends that we find. Just show you quickly over here. Remember guys, these lines that I'm drawing is just so that I can just make my drawings accurate when I show you the types of trends, right? So first and foremost, the type of trend we'd be getting here is what we call an uptrend. And an uptrend is characterized by its highs and its lows, right? Remember that in an uptrend we have overall buyers. Those are the people that are giving us direction. Overall buyers in an uptrend over here. As you can see, if you entered your buy over here, your buy would have still been valid even if market came to retest those short pullbacks, right? And then if you're a scalp trader, of which is a different kind of trader, I'll explain those ones in the next video that we'll be uploading, right? If you're a scalp trader, you'd be taking your sells over here, and you'd be taking your buys over here. You'd be taking further sells over here, and you'd be taking your buys over here. Each and every single time market reverses, you exit your trades, and then you execute new trades again. That's what scalp trading would then fall into. So the second type of trend that I would want to be showing you guys is what we call a ranging trend, or rather a consolidation trend. And as you can see, in a consolidation trend, we don't really have direction moving towards the upside or direction moving towards the downside. As you can see, this chart rather plays around these areas over here, and then it plays around these areas over here as well. Why is that? The reason behind this is because there is no overall buyers and there is no overall sellers in the market. Say for instance, let's just use layman's terms, and let's just use small numbers. Say for instance, I'm buying this market, right? And just put this in over here. Say for instance, I'm buying this market over here, right? I'm buying this market over here, and then after buying this market over here, somebody then comes in to do what? Somebody then comes in to sell the same market over here. So once they sell this market over here, remember my buys were valid until this price point over here, and then once we reach this price point over here,
I can see that my buyers are exhausted. So the sellers are then coming in. So if we're using small numbers, let's say for instance, we have 10 people trading this chart over here, this chart here, right here. And then 5 of these 10 people are buying and 5 of these 10 people are selling, right? So you can see that we at an equilibrium. We can't have overall buys or overall sells in this market. There's just an imbalance, right? There's just an imbalance. We're just sharing the numbers, right? Just sharing the numbers. So let me just show you another type of trend of which we get. We get what we call a downtrend. A downtrend is characterized by its lows and its highs. And in a downtrend, it's actually 100% opposite to what an uptrend is. In a downtrend, we're having our overall sellers, right? Overall sellers and short-term buys. Overall sells and short-term buys. Overall sells and short-term buys. Overall sells and so on. So if you enter your cells over here, your cells are still very much valid until this lowest price point over here. And then once you reach this level of support, you can then retract your cells and then secure your profits. Basically, guys, I will be teaching you how to analyze the market using lower time frames to analyze the market. You can use the different time frames to correlate the information to get a better understanding, or rather better trading experience. We can use higher time frames to understand the overall direction of the market. And when we go to our lower time frames, we can use them for entries. When executing, you execute on your lower time frames and then you know where to exit because you have seen it on your larger time frames too. So I will show you how to execute, or rather how to analyze and execute on our lower time frames. As you can see now, we're on our one of the highest time frames. So let's just move to play around the M15 and the M5 time frames so that we can see our scalp trades, or rather know how to execute, right? So in the naked eye, we can just see on our overall H4, we can see that market has been coming from an uptrend, previous uptrend. So we reversed over here, and then after reversing, remember we discussed the different types of trends. Market gave us lows and highs, lows and highs, and more lows. So as you can see, this is what we characterize a downtrend, with its series of lows and its series of highs. Like I said, guys, remember in the previous part of this video over here, I explained how we characterize our trends and how we can see our trends. So we already know that we're in a downtrend. So in a downtrend, we're looking for overall sales and short-term buys. So if we dive deeper into our lower time frames, you can see in our lower time frames, let's just dive into our line chart. As you can see on our line chart, guys, we're having some sort of highs over here, right? We're having a level of high over there, and then we're having lows over here. And then over here, we're having what we call our middle range support and resistance, which means this support and resistance is just in the middle of everything. But before running into anything, we can see that market has broke our overall resisting price. So once market has broke our overall resisting price, we just said to get our supporting prices, and should we have any rejections on these supporting prices, we then going in for further buying opportunities on this chart. So let me just close this chart properly so that we can make perfect sense of what we can see over here. So if I can try establishing a trend inside of here, I can see that we're having some sort of an uptrend. And remember, in an uptrend, we're having our overall buys and our short-term sells, just vice versa to what a downtrend would then be. So I can see that over here, I will be just waiting really for market to test, or rather give us more liquidity, just grab liquidity a bit there before we can just move over to our upper part of the trend, or rather if so that we can just formally break out of this trend. So right, I would like to say that an expert in anything was also once a beginner, and then trading isn't about winning each and every single trade that you take. It is about approaching each and every single trade with a winning strategy and a winning mindset. So in the next part of the video, I want to just show you the importance of patience, because you have to understand that, guys, it is very important for you guys to understand that small steps that we take, and then the small steps that we also focus on, eventually give us the direction that we need, whether in Forex or in trading or in any other thing that you put your hands to. so that we can just avoid going nowhere, right? And remember that you trade and you take wins, and you trade and you take losses. Remember that one of two things can occur. Market can still, I can put a pending order over the support for buys, and then market can simply break below this channel over here and just fall into sells. And remember that when that happens, we will then be encountering losses. And you should understand that when it comes to losses, no matter how big or small the loss is, losses are there to remind us we should never stop learning. Right, guys? Losses are there to remind us that we should never stop learning. So I will be concluding this section of the video, the trading view part of the video. So in the next section of the video, we'll be taking you guys through how we took those trades on the Nasdaq. So kindly stay tuned to the next part of the video. I'll see you in the next slide.
In this section, guys, I'll be getting you ready for the markets. This section right here will prepare you for the markets. The reason this slide was done, guys, was to show you how to break out of your scared phase. There's a phase where aspiring traders gain enough knowledge to take on the markets. And when they're finally in the markets, they analyze, but they are not able to execute their trades. An entry urge is one of the hardest aspects traders tend to fear. Guys, remember that the FSGO 3.0 is an all-in-one poverty killer. And once you have reached such heights, you must be ready to take on everything and engage in the knowledge shared in this section. Remember that most people fall into the trap of engaging in nonsensical activities throughout the day, but they are not willing to be learning a new skill. This is a trap that you don't want to fall into. In the next few seconds, I will pop up the trades that I took trading the news when the Apple 14 was launched. Kindly take notes and watch how these trades played out.
Guys, this is a FSGO mentor. As you can see, I've exceeded my tries of actually entering the market on this trade on the Nasdaq. It is not really advisable that you exhaust your margin when looking for a trade, but it is also important to understand that when fundamentals are bullish, in this case, because we're going to be having an Apple event. Actually, the iPhone 14 is going to be launched not so long ago, so we're actually waiting. It's going to be launched at 7 p.m. so they're actually live in 44 minutes, I think. So we're actually waiting on everything. Apple is also hasn't released any news as yet on their okay, here's the news event over here. As you can see, I'm actually out right now. As you can see, there's some background noise. Apple said to unveil its new iPhones and Apple Watches. Okay, this is something to actually be on the lookout for. I'll come back later to give you a trade update on the Nasdaq. This is what we have currently on NAS 100. Your mentor, just want to take you guys through this trade on the Nasdaq. As you can see, the reason why my balance and equity areas are flickering in red, it means that this account has reached its margin level call, so meaning that it is really under a lot of pressure. This is called aggressive trading, of which is not advisable or suitable, or rather it is not something to be teaching people, you understand? So let me first dive into this Nasdaq buy setup that I have here. I took this buy setup based off of the breakage of the structure, and as you can see, market is retesting with me, so I'll still be holding that buy. I'm also holding the GBP/NZD, but the GBP/NZD is actually going to reach my highs over there to retest probably this M neckline over there. But this trade, I'm not really quite confident with this GBP/NZD, but I'm very much confident with the NAS 100. I'm going to be holding the NAS 100 until the news event. There's actually not really a news event, but Apple will be launching its latest iPhone, of which is the iPhone 14, and they're also going to be launching other Apple gadgets. So we're going to be anticipating a lot of bullish moves on these three orders on the Nasdaq. So that is going to counter, or rather offset off of all of the losses that this account is actually still currently bearing. I'm going to actually take a screenshot of this so that it is something that we don't forget, something to revert back to in future when back again, guys. We're actually waiting for the Apple event, of which is going to be right now at 7 p.m. Apple is finally launching its long anticipated iPhone 14. Yes, iPhone 14. There are no comments yet as yet. Let's just check our other news platforms. Sorry about that. Let's just follow the live updates. Okay, I actually want to go a bit more aggressive on these US 100 orders. I wanna we still can't enter more trades, but I actually wanted to enter a lot of trades. Let me just scratch some of these GBP NZD, but GBP NZD is actually looking bearish. It looks like it has tested that M neckline retest over there, but it didn't really touch the price over there. But we're actually looking a bit bearish on it. I took a small loss of $9 there, but we're still actually holding. I was actually just in high hopes that I can enter a lot of trades on the Nasdaq so that we can build up our balance. As you can see, our balance is a bit low still. But the Apple event is currently live right now. Probably won't be able to record during the live because I want to watch this news event over here. It's going to probably just tamper with our recording. So it is right now 1900, of which is 7 p.m. and I'm just scratching out my GBP NZD trades. Let me just open this chart one more time. This setup really looks beautiful, but I really have to, this is what I actually had on the GBP NZD, but I really have to scratch this setup out because I want to actually capitalize more on my US 100. So we'll just hold on those orders and see where this US 100 actually takes us. So let me just save the screenshot. So we'll just wait to see what really transpires after this news event. So obviously going bullish, expecting bullish runs on the US 100. So right now we are live in this event right now. So I'm just going to be holding to see what will be happening. We'll come back again a bit later on to give another trade update on the US 100. This is FS Gojo Mentor. If it's good mentor, let us check on our trade on the Nasdaq. Okay, we're about $200 in on the Nasdaq. 1000 USD equity. So we're still looking very much bullish on this setup. Seven minutes into this actual event. So I'll just hold and come back later on to give you another trade update. So this is FS Gojo Mentor. Brand new day trade update, guys. FS Gojo Mentor. So we're running about 1,600 bucks on this trade. Just look at this chart. Remember guys, we took this entry upon this upon this news event on the Apple release, and we shot up after that, and we had some sort of corrective pattern over here, and we anticipated
for the entries upon this spike here. Remember, the spike here, should it not have been a fake out, it was going to probably retest above this resistance to create a newly found support, and then after that we would have went in for further buying opportunities. After that we just shoot up with it, but unfortunately market fell, and market fell back to our entries. In fact, below our entry the first time, and then the second time it came to test that same price, and then we only then shot up. So we can see that this level right here is a very significant level, a very solid level. So market is really failing to break this level over here. But it's a good thing that I wasn't looking at the market that much yesterday. We were really busy yesterday because as you can see, market really fell. So I probably would have went with an irrational move by actually executing around these prices here when market broke into this area over here, because most times than others I'm an aggressive trader, so I really execute upon the break, and I don't really usually wait for the retest, of which is a bad habit, I admit. So yes, I would have went in with an entry there, but you can see that our bullish pattern is currently still in play, and we actually got our retest. Remember that we got impulsive buys over here, and then market only came back to retest. So this was supposed to be our entries over here, but we decided to go with the first ones. But rather than that, we're still in profits. Let me see if I can rotate the screen and just dive deeper and really see what kind of trade opportunities we can get out of this. So if we can just pay attention more to these zones, because I want you guys to understand that zones are really important. Zones are really important as turning price in the market. So if I can just put a counter trend inside of here, just take my supporting prices and my resisting prices properly marked out there. So if I can just put a zone over here, you can see that, I mean a trend, a counter trend, you can see that we fell into a bullish pattern, right? We fell into a bullish pattern, so we just simply in anticipations for these prices over here. You see, should market just come to test one of these prices over here and reject above it, I would really appreciate taking my scaling in order over here. You see, if I can just get in my scaling in buy order over here, and then just really shoot up with it to the upper part of the trend. So right now I'll just leave this marking over here. It's around 7 a.m. right now. It's still early. I just woke up not so long ago, so I just want to monitor here. Yeah, I just want to leave that over there, and let me just take this one out and put a properly marked out one like that. So this is what we are currently anticipating. So I'm probably going to be taking orders around these supporting prices over here. So if I can just get a proper supporting rejection anywhere around these prices, scaling in more with my buying orders to go to the top. So I want to just check my investing.com if we have any news for today. Okay, we just have the CAD news for today. Employment change for the CAD news of today. Let me just remove that. Yes, it's employment change for the CAD news of today. Next week, let me just check next week, because this is a Friday right now. Okay, next week we're just having CPI news on a Tuesday, 2:30. We're going to be having high impact news next week Tuesday, and next week Wednesday as well, same time. Next week Thursday we're having retail sales, of which is the biggest news event, of which is 2:30, but it's just gonna fall into one category with the other ones as well. So yeah, that is what we have currently, fundamentally wise. And then let me check some of the companies on my watch list. So as you can see on my watch list, most of the companies are still actually very much bullish. Most of the Nasdaq companies are still very much bullish. So we're currently still waiting on that. So not really waiting, but we're currently still solidifying our direction, or rather our trade bias on this. So yeah, we're just having a lot of bullish opportunities and bullish moves on the Nasdaq. So I'm just waiting for my higher low to be reached and rejected, and then we're going to be entering more trades on the US 100. So Currently, we're holding $1,500 on this trade with an equity of about 2,500 USD. So, personally, my target was to just shift this balance from 900 to above any amount above $3,000. So, I'll just be waiting for that really. Trade update, guys. Let's go back to the market, and as you can see, we're floating around $2,000, and we're actually looking at an equity of 3,000. But let me just rotate and take you guys through this trade setup here. Remember that I anticipated that market is going to reject these prices here so that we can just have our entry here. But instead of doing that, market instead pushed through to our resisting prices over there. So we could have one of two things. Market can now retest this area over here, after retesting this area over here, only then go in with its anticipated buying opportunities. But as you can see, we're still very much still at our resisting prices over there. Let me just mark out these turning points over here. Looking at my left part of the market over there. So there's still room to still reject and go below for proper scaling in prices. So we will just wait for now. We'll just wait to see what market will give for us. We'll come back around New York session to give another trade update. The service coach Memento. So guys, that was an example of how those Nasdaq trades were caught trading the Apple event when the iPhone 14 was launched.